toys here to just work on some progressive damage outward swinging door. We did the one video, progressive damage inward swinging. Now I got outward swinging. We've got a deadbolt. If we pretend this was a key and knob lock, first things I'm going to try is see if that deadbolt's activated, see if I can move it over. It is activated. I can't. I can loiter my latch to get in. If I can't work any of those, we move on to our next step, which will be to damage lock. So we try no damage, lock and door damage, and then it's lock, door, and frame. One last thing I can try with the deadbolt is to bash it down a bit. Sometimes they'll slide down, I'll be able to get in with a pick. This one's not moving. So next thing I can do is I can pull the door handle if I can't loiter, and pull the lock itself. Pull the door handle, I can just use my Rex tool, all side to side. Bring that off. Collar and everything in place now to be able to go down and manipulate it. Here I can just get a finger on it and move it. I'm going to use my Rex tool to look to move in on my deadbolt. Start at that steep angle first to get in and around. This bolt has got some, deadbolt's got some really good bolts on it. I can bring in my little electrical plate and cover. Try and limit door damage if I can. We're gonna end up schmucking this door pretty good. One bolt popped. Now, this is where, if we can, as you can see, we're already starting to damage the door as we pull on this. And we're still at a point that we could do easy fix with just a cover and then a new deadbolt. But the more we pry on this lock to break those two machine screws holding this deadbolt in place, the more damage we're going to put into this door. Hence why we use our cover to try and limit some of that damage. Try and limit how much we necessarily pull on this. Oh, we've got it out. If we get our bolts, there we go, it's still holding. I'm pulling through that back plate. If we get it out far enough, we can either use our really good little bolt cutters, or we could use a pick at this point. Got it out far enough, I should be able to get my bolt cutters on there. These bolts are not getting cut. I actually started pulling that back plate through on this one now, so if I pull too much, I'm going to rip out the whole centerpiece on the door. So I can't cut that. I'm going to try and get in with my pick and a screwdriver. See if I can bring that over. And this is exactly why we always bring our irons with us, even when we want to do through the lock or respectful entry, because my next step would either be go get bigger bolt cutters or something else to cut these locks, or quite simply we have to move to conventional irons work. Yeah, there was enough space now. I could get away with some larger bolt cutters in here. I'll give them one more try. If we can just fatigue the bolt a bit so that prying will snap it in a new location. Just for fun, let's see if we can actually back these up. There's another option. Never thought of before, but I got enough on here that I'm actually able to get the needle nose on here and unscrew the bolt. I managed to cut out the spindle, and it snapped off when pulling the lock. There we go. Managed to unscrew one lock. Okay. Just have to get a little outside the ordinary with that. But there's our through the lock on here, our progression of damage. You can see we got some door damage again. You can buy those covers for about $20 that slot over the door, and then just a deadbolt on, a lot cheaper repair for our resident than taking out the whole jam and everything else. Our next go-to, that one was giving me grief. Obviously, like I said, we always bring our irons. Our next go-to will be to just take the whole thing. We do our gap set force. I mean, door like this, you can always see there's a pretty predominant gap. It is a wooden frame building and everything. It's a good chance if I just get in here, I'll be able to get enough flex to bring that deadbolt out. Not quite. Okay, we're really close. So, get in here, make sure I'm right the way to the back. If I had to hit it in, I could. Get that good crush. Giving myself lots of room, making it really easy now to bring that adze in and around the corner. Good example here why we like to use the adze on these outward swinging over the forks. We got this wall here, easily the bottom of the stairwell in a commercial, or if we're up on the roof for going down into the top stairwell from the roof. We usually have a parapet and off to the side. Also, our highest mechanical advantage comes from that adze end. So, being able to bring that round and stay in this space and use that highest mechanical advantage right off the hop is super important. Now, you gotta remember our force, we're always looking to put 90 degrees on our locks. To break the lock in half, pull it through the jamb like you can see it's happening here now, or bust it out through the door. Here we've got failure in the jamb, or the other option is smash those lock mechanisms in half, which is what's also happening here. So I've maxed that out there. So I've got max throws being used. This Halligan, that's 1.5 inches. Now I move back to that lower mechanical advantage, but higher throw. Bringing my tool out to snap that door. Again, it's important to see what we're trying to achieve. Right, is 90 degrees of force to the lock set. For a long time, the books were showing you to force putting all your pressure into the walls. We need to be forcing 90 degrees in these lock sets, not parallel with them, because this is what we're trying to achieve. Blow them out the door, snap them in half, or like in this case, snap them through the jamb, bust that jamb out.